Hey y'all, welcome back to In Killing Color, but this is part 2 of my series that I call Let's Chat About Our Cousins. Today, we're going to talk about an Australian man named Peter Scully, who has been deemed the worst pedophile in history.
Jesus Christ. All right.
The worst in history, okay? So, trigger warning.
I'm triggered.
I'm not gonna, with these, I don't do a lot of extra inside. It's just an overview, just a little something, because I just give y'all something else to think about. But yeah, Peter, the worst pedophile in history, okay? All right, so let's get to it.
These are their stories.
Peter Gerard Scully. He was born on January 13th, 1963. And he's a sex offender. He is a sex offender of children. And he was sentenced to life in prison in 2018. And then in November 22, he received a second conviction and was sentenced to an additional 129 years. Okay. So, Peter lived in the suburb of Narre Warren in Melbourne, Australia, with his wife and 2 kids. This be the gag. This be the gag. He had 2 kids.
That I didn't want to interrupt, but yes, that'd be like this be the first thing I'd be thinking. I'm like, yo, like y'all got kids. They do this to their kids, like what? All right.
They don't even be their kids.
I hate this.
Maybe they want to do it to their kids and they just had to do it to somebody. They had to get it out, so they do it to somebody else's kid.
Ugh.
Ew.
Okay.
Fucking nasty. Anyway, him and his wife and 2 children, they were about to be charged with a property scheme coin, and it was about 2.68 million. So they was like, look, we gotta get the fuck up out of here. So what they did was they fled to Manila in the Philippines. Okay. So he says that as a child he was abused by a priest when he was growing up. So are they gonna like relegate this back to the Catholic Church, or I guess that's what he's saying. I guess. Anyway, that's what he said. So before then, he had only been charged with operating and owning an unlicensed escort service with his Filipina sex worker partner. Okay. So, he moved to the Philippines to an island named Mindanao. And there is where he started up his child sex abuse ring. And they offered pay-per-view video streams on the dark web. And when I say dark web, you already know it's some bullshit. On the dark web of children being sexually abused and tortured. Among the victims who had their shit recorded and sold, there was a 5-year-old who was taken advantage of and tortured by Scully and 2 female accomplices. And the TB, it be the women that like involved themselves in this. Like, girl, what are you doing? So the victims that were brought to him and the ones that he brought were promised to have a better life because their parents were poor, just workers trying to get by or whatever. And they were usually solicited by his 2 Filipino girlfriends, because at which point he had divorced his wife, okay? He left his wife and his kids in the dust. In the dust. There was a lady named Carmi Ann and Liesel and a couple other people. And they all recruited, groomed, did the abusing. So in 2016, the prosecutor said that Scully had a girlfriend who coerced 2 teenagers to come into the house with a promise of food. Not a promise of money, not a promise of shelter, a promise of food.
This is in the Philippines?
Yeah.
Well, you know, damn.
Yeah.
That's terrible, man.
Like food.
That's
like, hey,
come on, man.
Come to our house, we'll give you some food.
But I mean, if you
die,
you're not eating. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why it's really like, you know, fucked up. It's like, yo, this place is. Go ahead, man.
If you don't die of straits, baby, you gotta do what you gotta do. So, Scully they said that he gave the 2 girls some liquor and forced them to perform sexual acts between each other while somebody filmed it. The lawyer said when the girls tried to escape, Scully forced them to dig their graves in the basement of the house and threatened that he would bury them there. Now, after 5 days, the girls were released. After one of the girls I said earlier, she felt some type of way and she let them go because while they were in the house, they had on pet collars. And I don't think it was the cute pet collar that you have when you're like a sub and a dom, the cute little bump bump. She said pet collars. So it's giving Jovi collar. It's giving dog harness collar. I don't like that. Anyway, after it was reported that he had the 2 girls in the pet collars and stuff, he operated, like I said, a dark web child abuse sex site that was called No Limit Fun. And his notorious video was called Daisy's Destruction. And that's where he sold this video for up to $10,000, which is massively wild. You have people that have disposable income of 10 grand to watch a old ass white male do things to young girls. So this video featured the torture and rape of 3 girls by him and 2 other women. And the women were like urged on by him, and he wanted them to like kick up the abuse, kick up, blah, 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 do whatever. And one of the girlfriends was like formerly trafficked as a child. So I feel like I said before, I feel like she should understand what the fuck is tea. And she should have known, hey, I don't want to do that because I don't feel comfortable. But he was probably paying them. And he was probably giving them a living wage somewhere that they could live, pay for their family, get their things together, and get all their shit together. And to me, I feel like that's very whack, and I don't like it. So before the video got like mad attention from the general public, the broadcast of Daisy's production was literally only on like a pay-per-view basis. So due to the content, it got a lot of attention via the law enforcement and media and stuff. And let's just be clear, before I researched this, I ain't never heard about that. Number one, because I don't give a motherfuck about that, and that. So that's probably why I ain't never heard about it. However, the Dutch National Child Exploitation Team was the first to open an investigation about this case. So after that, once they opened that case, there was an international manhunt put in place for the people who produced the video. Not the people who were in it, but initially for the people who produced it. So Scully was tracked to the, how do you say it? Malay City. Not Mandalay, but Malay City in the Philippines. And he was arrested on February the 20th of 2015. They had 6 warrants for his arrest, and all were related to abduction and sexual abuse of 2 cousins. Now, while they searched for him in the Philippines, they tracked down 3 of the first victims in Daisy's destruction. One was alive. The second one had lasting physical injuries because of her physical mistreatment in the video. And according to somebody they recorded and talked to, Scully recorded himself in a video with the third victim in which he raped, tortured her, then made her dig her own grave before strangling her to death.
No.
So here's my tea. Like, not only are you doing this, but you're doing it, recording it, and making people pay to see it. And then these motherfuckers are paying to see it. You're fucking nasty. You're nasty.
Oh my God.
So, among those who purchased the video, publicized the video, it was one of the biggest purveyors of child sexual abuse material. And it was somebody that was from Australia, and his name was Matthew David Graham, known by his online pseudonym, Lux. He was apprehended at age 22, and he ran a few websites that was called Hurtcore, which was geared towards child abuse. Now, he said that he published the video on his own website in the name of freedom. So somebody gave him the video, and he put it on his site, and it was like, oh, let's just put it on there. I don't like that. Years later, in 2021, the video came back up and was surfaced after it was found in Josh Duggar's possession. So you know Duggar. Duggar, 19 plus 19, whatever.
Them people.
Yeah. So you know he's in jail for child porn. That's probably why his ass is in jail for this.
Oh.
And you know, I just put that together.
Wow.
Ew. That's disgusting. And the name of it is disgusting. Daisy's destruction.
That's like
destruction.
That's why I reacted so like, why would you? I mean, this is. That's why I stay in my house, man. This is crazy. This is
destruction. That's gross.
Not even the fact that you would do this, but then like, there's a place for you to upload this. Not even that there's a place for you to. Then like people are watching this, and then they're paying you for this. It's just so many different layers of like, what the hell?
And paying $10,000, not $199 a month, not $599, not $20, not $50, one time, $10,000 to watch you and two ladies do some bullshit, some little girls. That's nasty as fuck. So at the end of the day, Scully faced a total of 75 charges, and he was allegedly accused to have abused 75 children. He was on trial with others who assisted in the production of his porn, including multiple people. I'm not gonna say their names because nobody gives a fuck who they are, because you're going to jail, bitch, because you're fucking disgusting. Okay? All the production, all the PA, all the blah blah blah. Everybody went to jail. Everybody. Now, they say his crimes were deemed so severe that some prosecutors supported the reintroduction of the death penalty for him. And the death penalty had been abolished since 2006. So they're bringing things back from 2021, 22, from 2006. It's fucking nasty. And he looks like he fucking stinks. So that's also a problem for me. But don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. At which point, in an interview in March 2015, they said on 60 Minutes that he was writing a tell-all journal in prison that would say and reflect and tell his motivation on raping children. Girl, an interview on 60 Minutes talking about why you did that? It's fucking nasty. For what? Don't nobody care?
It's the privilege.
Don't nobody give a fuck about that.
The white privilege keeps jumping out.
Don't nobody care about that. So, coincidentally, in October of 2015, there was a fire that damaged the evidence room that had all of his computer logs and videos, destroying key evidence. And some say that he bribed a local police officer to do that. So on June 13, 2018, Scully and his girlfriend were sentenced to life in prison. He was also ordered to pay $5 million, which is $87,000 here, but $5 million in Filipino money, to the victims. Now his sister and him is complaining about like jail conditions. Nigga, nobody give a motherfuck about what you feel about jail conditions, child. Don't nobody care about that shit.
If you don't fuck off somewhere.
Jail conditions? Child, you in jail. You ain't supposed to be at an Airbnb. You in jail.
You out here, you know what?
You're in jail.
You playing with kids and you talking about never mind.
You're in jail.
Fuck off, bro.
Anyway, so fast forward to November 22nd of 2022. He received his second conviction and was sentenced to an additional 129 years in prison. The girl that was involved, the main girl, she was sentenced to 126 years in prison. The other two that was involved got a 9-year sentence. In total, there have been 60 cases involved against Peter Scully. Peter.
Complete madness.
Peter looks like, I just can't, you know what? We'll show you what Peter looks like. He looks a mess. Peter.
You got him over there?
Yeah, you know I got Peter over here. Peter. Get into Peter. What he look like?
Peter looks like Earthworm Jim. Peter looks like the little worm that was in the wheelchair in that episode of SpongeBob, the chocolate episode.
With the glasses?
Yeah,
the little worm that's like that.
Yeah, that's what he's giving.
Mm-hmm.
He looks like he smells like a dirty asshole.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
75 victims, and you sitting up here.
Children.
Fucking.
And you had your own children too?
Yeah.
I should have probably had looked it up, but I didn't want to look it up. I want to know what his goddamn children feel about this. Because luckily, they ain't get the brunt.
Well, we hope. We hope.
Because we don't know. They might have got that brunt.
We don't know.
They might have got that. Peter. Anyway, are you part of the unalive tribe? If you're not, get to it. Love y'all. Talk to y'all next time. Follow me on all social media platforms. Bye.
These are their stories.